Hello, all my beasties, and welcome tonight. How's everybody? We are going to go old school lair tonight. Plus, if there's any firearms questions, pop them in the chat because it's going to be random and I'm going to answer stuff. I don't know how long I'm going to last because alcohol. But, let's just get to it. So, oh my god, this Murdoch trial thing is like the world's biggest train wreck. Actually, it might be a train about to hit a dumpster full of garbage water that's on the tracks that's going to get hit by said train. Because all of this. Sam, which Bruin case? But, so I'm not that interested in Murdaugh because most of it right now is just annoying me. And not only will I have like an absolute aneurysm, but there was one thing I wanted to point a couple things out that I did catch in the case. I was watching the Law Racks, also known as Legal Vices, earlier, and I saw some of you guys in his chat, and I was like, the stupid hurts. This stupid. And I watched a little bit of Emily's coverage of it. And I've seen a ton of coverage, but there's something, and I don't know if they're intentionally not bringing this up or it's a circus and someone needs to go collect their monkeys, or they borrowed people from New Mexico, the Darrell Brooks School of Law, the lady from the New Mexico Cunnings case is on the team, something. But when I was watching, this was on Emily's stream, and at some point I'll try to find it and I may make it into a short. If you're watching Emily's stream when they were breaking down things with the GSW expert, actually, you know what? Pause that. Let's back this up. GSW. I really want to scream at the screen as loud as I can. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Like, I don't understand how you can be a lawyer and not understand, gunshot residue. If you're a lawyer and you do any prosecution or criminal defense, this comes up in like most of your trials. How can we not figure this out? So, CCW, hey, yeah, I know they can't stop with the embargo, but glad to see you, CCW. Hey, Zulu. Yeah, he's creepy. I don't think that Zulu, he's lost a crap ton of weight while he was in rehab and then in jail. So that's some of it. But GSW, you people really don't understand this. And apparently I need to make my own video all about GSW because I don't understand how we don't get GSW and what is so confusing about this. So here's the thing. GSWA is not a guaranteed when it comes to finding it on things. There are things that come into account, and I know this was mentioned on the stand when they were reading the exclusions. Certain 22 rimfire weapons will not produce GSR. You can actually buy environmentally friendly ammunition, and it does not give off the same type of GSR, so you can't pick it up on a regular GSR test. And there's a couple other little things. But here's the thing. Okay. So when I was watching Emily, they had one of the morons handling evidence without gloves, because everybody knows how much I absolutely love people's inability to, properly handle forensics. But, we've heard this before. I digress. And they had the seatbelt. Saw it. It's gunshot residue. I'll explain it once. Okay, you know what? Pause. We're going to explain. So, GSW is unburned powder and various other things. When you fire a gun, not all of the primer and powder, like the charge, which is what, blows the projectile out of the casing, not all of it is burnt off. So what happens is, if you look at really, really, really like microscopic slow-mo, and I'll have to see if I can find something, when you fire the weapon, it kind of like, with the hot gases that come out of the end of the barrel, as does some of the unburned powder in GSW, right? So the unburnt powder, which is referred to as gunshot residue, it'll stick to anything and everything. It's easily transferable between surfaces. So they're like all up in this, like, GSW ballistics lady's face with like the dumbest questions. And I really want to be like, how can you miss things that are so obvious? So Captain Prosecution, who doesn't feel, I think it was him, whatever, somebody who didn't feel the need to wear gloves had the seatbelt from the car he was driving, right? Yes, I mean gunshot residue, GSR. Did I say GSW? Claude, I've been drinking. You gonna have to give me the one letter, okay? Yes, gunshot residue, not GSW. So they had this seatbelt, and it's the driver's seatbelt. And they're like, well, did you test it? But did you? So she explains that she, had to Google it because she wasn't familiar with seatbelt assemblies. Maybe don't tell everybody in court that you had to Google things. It doesn't give you a lot of professional credit. I mean, you Googled it? Cool. Like, maybe contact the car's manufacturer and ask them for the seatbelt diagram or something. Nope, we're going to get up on the stand and be like, I Googled that shit. Cool. So, whatever. And she says she found gunshot residue. Did I call it? Was it GSW? Whatever. GSR, people. GSR. My brain. They said they found GSR on the seatbelt, but it was like way down in there. And they're going on and on about GSR. And then they ask how much she found. And this lady looks at him with a straight face and goes, one particle. And Emily done lost her mind. Mindset done lost his mind. Vice has lost it. They were like, you found one particle? Like, that's not significant. When you say I found it, are in something, they're trying to prove this one that just, in there, you only found one? And there was like this big thing, and everybody was throwing all of this out because there was only one. And then they say they tested the white clothing and him. that night. There was no blood on him. They had a little bit of gunshot residue, but like not a huge amount. And they're really hanging their hats on, well, that didn't have gunshot residue. This didn't have gunshot residue. There was gunshot residue on the inside of this raincoat, not the outside, all this stuff. And going on and on about how there was not a significant quantity of the gunshot residue. But they keep pointing out that any gunshot residue that's on him, it's a hunting cabin. It's going to get tracked into places. It's a hunting cabin. My people, do you see the problem? Here's the thing. You are at a hunting lodge. There are lots of guns. There's lots of gunshot residue everywhere. So maybe instead of looking for the evidence to prove that he was in this car and all of that stuff, this gunshot residue, they're like, there was one particle. Okay, you were at a goddamn hunting property. There is more gunshot residue in that property and on that property, I can guarantee you, than there is glitter in an art room. And gunshot residue tends to be like the herpes of the firearms world. It is damn near impossible to get. You will always find it everywhere. It's like glitter. So they only found one. Hey, Anubis, you have more GSR in your bologna sandwich, right? Okay, but here's the problem, guys. If this vehicle has been at the hunting lodge repeatedly, it should have had a lot more gunshot residue. A lot more. So maybe let's stop and take a step back and use our brains. I'm not sure if they have one if you put them together right now, but whatever. If he had been in and out of that car repeatedly, and that car's there all the time, there would have been a crap ton of gunshot residue in it from the property and from transfer. The stuff is the glitter herpes of the firearms world. So why don't we ask why we don't have it? They're literally harping on this as like, oh, the absence of it means he couldn't have done it. No, jackasses. The absence of it in a place where you should have a metric crap ton of gunshot residue means somebody cleaned shit up. Instead of focusing on, oh, it wasn't there, so he wasn't there. And yeah, the little bit that was on him, he handled a rifle, but that's why there wasn't a lot. He only handled the rifle. He didn't use it. You also said you got down on the ground and you tried to roll your dead wife. She was covered in gunshot residue. He should have been covered in it. Like the clothes he was wearing. There probably should have been blood on him too, but regardless. He would have had it everywhere. Why was there such a minimal amount on him? You tell me something comes from a hunting lodge and then tell me it only had one particle of GSR on it, I am going to tell you that was wiped down. I have gone to the range, put my stuff back in my bag, washed my hands, because I always do. Because lead. Taken my hoodie off, gotten into the car, driven home, showered, gotten back in my car, and went to the airport the next day. And when I got swabbed, guess what I tested positive for? Gunshot residue. I was like the lucky person that got picked up the line for the pat down. So yeah, you can find that shit everywhere. It really is glitter. So why did we only have one particle in the car? Like, why are we not stopping and going, there should have been a lot more here? Maybe it was cleaned up. He only had that minute amount on him. Well, given the situation and where he was, there should have been a crap ton of it. So the absence of it is in a way more significant than if it had been present. If the car was full of it and he was covered in it, you can explain that away because you were at the property and there's gunshot residue everywhere. Everywhere. You can explain that away. You can't explain away the absence of it. And nobody's brought up the fact that, there's such a small, why is there such a small amount? But it's everywhere. I wonder if maybe he got it cleaned, and we should probably just look at the negative and the absence of as more impactful evidence than had it been present. So that's annoying. Because why? Why can you not see that there was very obviously a cleanup? Now, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm just saying these prosecutors and their questions and Putin, his questions, y'all have like 4 brain cells. I need you to find some more. I'm going to need you to find some more because you are missing such good lines of questioning and ways of raising doubt or ways of explaining away problematic problems of your prosecution. Like, blind people could see some of like these red flags and loopholes and things that you could drive a Mack truck through. But we're not going to bring those up. But again, we're just doing what we want. We don't even have like a coherent timeline. And then everybody's like, with the stupid damn raincoat, there was all this residue inside it, and there was some on the outside. Well, yes, you could have wrapped something in it and it transferred. He didn't have to be wearing it, and that could, him wrapping a gun in it could explain why it was on the inside. And it washes off with water off of that kind of surface pretty readily. So you can probably do a better job explaining where that came from or did not come from. So, I just, why are we not paying attention to the absence of something that should be there? I don't understand. I just don't. I don't get it. Maybe someone can enlighten me because I'm an idiot, apparently. You can't prove a negative, but you can prove the fact that the absence of something that was supposed to be there is problematic. So that I cannot with these people. I cannot. This trial would make me an alcoholic if I actually had to pay attention. I haven't been able to sit there. Sod, the dog in the night methodology? Huh? You're going to have to help me, Sod. But yeah, I can't with these people. Whatever. CCW, you should not get it looking at the wrong things for evidence. What do you mean? Sorry, you guys are going to have to help me out a little bit. But while you guys help me out in the chat with that, we're going to start bringing up some of the stuff I wanted to go over with you, because there's gun stuff. And if you have gun questions, I will gladly answer them. So you just put them there, and I will get to all of them. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. This one's a little bit rough, but I'm up on my soapbox already. So I am going to be on a higher up soapbox really quickly here. And then we'll move on. Like I say in every one of my videos where I'm doing things with guns on screen, safety is paramount. Lock your shit up if you're not using it. Keep it away from children. Nope, why would we do that? An Indiana toddler, 2, fatally shoots themselves. Nobody cares about you, Biden. Go away. A 2-year-old Northwestern Indiana girl has died after accidentally shooting herself with a gun she found in her home. Grace Rodriguez reported she was pronounced dead at 6:10 p.m. at Comer Children's Hospital in Chicago, according to the medical examiner. Officers were dispatched to the residence in a mobile home park shortly after 11 a.m. Tuesday, they said in a statement. The girl was taken by ambulance and then flown. Initial investigation shows she was able to gain access to a family-owned firearm. The child was able to discharge a single round, striking herself. There were no other children in the home. No other injuries were reported. An autopsy on the girl was scheduled for Thursday. They're going to continue their investigation and decide on charges. Please tell me why the hell a 2-year-old had a gun. I mean, I know she's not the lock-picking lawyer, so you can probably buy some cheap-ass thing off Amazon and stick it in there. I mean, that's why I like the screw tops that I think kids can open, but not adults on prescription bottles. Stick it in a Tide Pod container. If it keeps toddlers out of the Tide Pod, it'll probably work for your gun too. I don't know what to tell you, but the fact that your 2-year-old got your loaded weapon and then she shot herself. I can tell you my children, if you have guns in the house, you have to teach, but 2 is too little. Why was it not put up? Why was it somewhere this kid could get it? And why were you not watching the child? They're 2. If I let my little one out of my sight when she was 2 for 33 seconds, she'd have walked out into traffic or burned the house down or been standing on my island or something. You don't leave 2-year-olds unattended. They're demons. What is wrong with you people? I don't get it. And the worst thing is, this pisses me off because anti-gun lobbyists use this to try to get gun control acts pushed through. So people like this, okay, you pissed me off because your kid needlessly died and it was because of you. But B, it pisses me off even more because you make responsible gun owners look stupid and bad and give them ammunition so they can try to violate our Second Amendment. So I have issues with the parents for more than one reason. Sod, yes, I see your Sherlock Holmes thing. And thank you. Thank you for explaining. I've only watched a few Sherlock Holmes things, and I read some of the books when I was younger, but Mayor Wrench, you need to have a firearm vault. But like I said, a damn Tide Pod container can keep a 2-year-old out. Hold on, let me see what I missed. Careless parents. Yeah, it's improper storage, and it's not just careless parents and improper storage. It's grossly negligent and akin to child abuse, in my personal opinion. CCW, yeah. I just don't. I don't get it. Yeah, Croco, I talked about that the other night. I thought I covered it on here. I can cover it again. That's fine. But yeah, what were you people doing that you weren't paying attention and a 2-year-old shot themselves? Awesome. You guys deserve to be Parent of the Year. Duh. Okay, on to the next one. I don't. Parents kick their ass. They annoy me. And they piss me off. Oh, okay. We're going to do this one next. This one's going to have some controversy, I'm fairly sure.
Hear that? Sugardale Bacon's been making Saturday morning sizzle since 1920. Because Sugardale isn't just some run-of-the-griddle bacon. It's slow-smoked with applewood and hickory to achieve the perfect balance of sweet and savory. So anytime your meal needs a boost, more wow, some,
first
sizzle.
And foremost,
at Sugardale. It's bacon, only better.
Do I need to explain bump stocks and how they act and pistol braces
infinitesimally small
and
percentage of
explain
crimes
how they
not a threat to
actually
anybody, but
work?
Joe Biden, like Justin Trudeau and every other would-be dictator on the planet, sees them as a potential threat to political power. So Joe Biden thinks only his bodyguards should have them,
YouTube
not you.
Premium.
And in Illinois, the governor there called Pritzker
have ad block somewhere. I just don't feel
jump on this. He wants to be president,
like enabling it right now.
and has signed it up ban
that is
into
too
law.
much caring.
Now, Pritzker
right
is
now.
threatening to arrest anyone who doesn't register the rifle with the state because you can trust the state.
Let me know in the chat if I need to explain things about pistol braces.
But
we're going to cover this. 25 states are suing Biden and the ATF to stop the pistol brace rule.
Or selling of these weapons in Illinois.
Meanwhile, people are leaving Chicago.
The NRA, America's largest and longest standing gun rights group, is suing the Biden administration to stop new federal regulations on pistols with stabilizing braces, gun accessories that President Biden has called especially dangerous after they were used in 2 mass shootings. The NRA is challenging a move by ATF to regulate guns equipped with stabilizing braces, also called pistol arm braces, like short-barreled rifles, which require a federal license to own under the NFA. National Firearms Act. In a federal lawsuit being filed in North Dakota, the NRA is arguing that the ATF's rule is arbitrary and vague to the point of being an abuse of power. The Bureau is declaring that they will effectively decide on a case-by-case basis whether a firearm is subject to the NFA. Every American gun owner is in danger of potentially facing felony charges at the whim of these bureaucrats and without any new statute in place. The NRA is joined by a whole bunch of people. Stabilizing brace rule was introduced as a part of the comprehensive gun crime strategy Biden announced in 2021 in response to the massacre at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado, where a gunman used a firearm with a stabilizing brace to kill 10 people. In 2019, another mass murderer using a stabilizing brace in a shooting in Dayton, Ohio that left 9 people dead. The ATF defines a stabilizing brace as an accessory that provides a surface area that allows the weapon to be fired from the shoulder, so long as the other factors that indicate the firearm is designated, made, and intended to be fired from the shoulder. The ATF's rules finalized on the 13th categorize pistols with attached stabilizing braces as short-barreled rifles, which are heavily regulated because they're both accurate and concealable. Biden has accused the gun industry of attempting to circumvent federal regulations by selling stabilizing braces, which he and his administration claim can convert a pistol into a short-barreled rifle. Y'all are an idiot. Idiots. Okay, so we got stabilizing braces in this surface area picture. Whatever. Justice Department's taking action to close the loophole. Second Amendment advocates are disputing it. Okay, where's this thing? There's between 10 and 40 million braces in circulation. You gotta register it within 120 days or remove it. That's stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Rule proposed last year. Everybody's gonna challenge it. Let's see. Yeah, the case-by-case basis thing's bullshit. Let's see. Yep. The NRA's hope the lawsuit will succeed after a federal appeals court struck down the bump stock ban. ATF can only apply federal statutes, can't write them, which is true. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let me scroll up for a minute so I can look at any comments real quick before I go off on my soapbox. Anubis, that's not true. That's not true. There are many, many, many ways to get around that, and I can talk about that. For the replay crew. So here's the thing. Why do you leave a loaded gun laying around? All of my firearms, unless they are downstairs in my safe, are loaded at all times. I have a safe in my bedroom. I have one in my kitchen, so that my personal weapon that I carry all the time when I get home, I can, put somewhere safe so little people can't get to it. Why do I have it loaded? Because if somebody breaks into the house, the last thing you want is to have to chamber a round or have an unloaded gun and have to try to get a magazine in. The amount of time it takes is the difference between life and death. So you have loaded guns. You should have it loaded, but you need to secure it. Thank you, CCW. That's 223 membership and gifts. There's also I have a Venmo link in the channel below where you can support the channel, as well as Patreon if you would like to. If you'd like to support the channel, you may, because at this rate it might take us 97,000 years to get to 1,000, because A, YouTube hates gun channels, and B, I'm not the most advertiser friendly, but whatever. Mean John, yeah, that'll stop crime. Yeah, it's not going to do jack shit. Opal, you're fine. Opal, I have to send you a picture of the dragon that I got. No, a disabled shooter can't sue under the ADA for this. There have been many challenges to other aspects, but of the ADA and gun laws, and you cannot claim it under ADA. And if anything, that would put you in a worse position legally. So, let's see. If I knew otherwise. So, Mayor, yeah, disabled shooters can get a brace waiver, but it's a different. A brace waiver is different from this, if that makes sense. And there's a whole lot of paperwork that goes through it. When I got my FFL, I had to learn all of that stuff, and it's hefty. So here's the thing. Yes, I own a short-barreled rifle. And yes, I have a class 3 tax stamp through the ATF for it. It was a pain in the ass to get and very expensive. But all these people with this, I'm going to put a brace on it. Okay, to help stabilize it. Most of the reasons that these 2 mass shootings, or you see in a lot of mass shootings, have done it, they do it because they think it looks cool. Or because they are a crappy ass shot anyways, and they're worried about recoil. The only pistol I could conceivably look at and go, well, 2 of them. Somebody might need to brace it would be 44 Magnum or 50 caliber. Anything under that, if you can't handle the recoil, then it's the wrong gun for you. But even in those bigger ones, there's ways to get around it. But it's not going to stop anything. The foregrip and a shoulder brace is not. going to stop anything. And I would make the argument that it makes it less safe because okay, this is going to sound horrible. No, YouTube. I'm not endorsing this. This is devil's advocate. YouTube overlords, I'm not endorsing this. It makes those shooters more accurate, so less collateral damage. Maybe. I'm just saying. That's just me. If someone's going to shoot at me, I would rather them be somewhat accurate with it than just being willy-nilly. So if anything, it's going to minimize some things. It has absolutely no effect on how fast you can fire a weapon or any of that. Let's see, Loki, we're going to have to agree to disagree. I'm not worried about getting my firearm because the SWAT team gets to me, but an average burglar, I'm going to hear long before he's got a chance. So I'm not talking about like the SWAT team getting your firearm so quickly that the SWAT team gets a chance. I'm just saying, in general, I mean, you may hear a burglary an hour away, but when you are in those situations and your heart's going, it can be fairly hard to get that magazine in, and your fine motor skills go to crap, but you know that. You don't have to carry around in the chamber, but not having a magazine in the gun, it's a little bit much. But again, you don't have to carry it around in the chamber. You can have it locked. You can have the safety on. But regardless, Sod, I don't think you would leave it out for a 2-year-old to get to. Mayor Wrench. My dad has a waiver because of an injury during Korea. Yeah, so like I said, larger caliber handguns in competition. There are very limited avenues when it comes to those waivers. Because, I don't know, people are stupid. But like I said, it's not going to do anything. It will literally make no difference. None. And even if you ban them, like I said the other night, the person that's willing to go to jail for first-degree murder, capital murder, whatever, I don't think they care if a stabilizing brace is legal or not, because we don't care if murder's legal or not. So, I mean, y'all do you, but okay, you do you, boo. It ain't gonna help anything. And anyways, I'm going to side with them on this one. They're going to end up getting it tossed. You would have a better argument trying to ban an actual weapon or something like certain types of sights, not a stabilizing brace for a pistol. So stupid. And improved accuracy is probably a good idea. It's like banning JHPs, even though they stop and said bad guys instead of over penetrating like ball. Yeah, TB to a point. Right to life means nothing without means to defend that life. Yep. I don't get the stupid gun control laws, because the criminals aren't going to follow them anyways, for one. And for two, it's like, okay, y'all done gone down that path. Why? Just, hey, radio. Like why? There's so many other avenues you could have gone down, but you picked the stupidest one. Whatever. So, let's find another one. And then we have other interesting stuff. Yep, we're going to do... Oh, let's see. Why not? Let's do this one next. Okay, guys, do we want to go to Nevada or Vermont next? Nevada or Vermont, you guys pick. CCW, yes, I understand the YouTube reasons, and yes, as a I have to self-censor quite a bit, and because it isn't made for kids, language isn't really an issue, but the censorship on YouTube with firearms channels has become problematic. Radio. Oh, thank you, Radio. Yeah, they are awesome, and I can get you a link to the cups and the stuff if you want. So we'll go to Vermont, and then we'll do. Okay, I have 3 Nevadas. We'll do that one. So we'll do that one first. Yeah, YouTube struck a channel because they inserted a magazine, and this wasn't on a live, it was in a video that was edited. Someone put a 30-round magazine into the weapon, and they got a strike saying that they were showing people how to modify a gun, which putting the magazine into it is not, that's not modifying it. So they have been suppressing the ever-living crapola and going after things that fall within their guidelines, even if you abide by them, and arbitrarily deciding on things. That's why I'm going to be doing some interesting stuff on locals, and I can handle guns on screen on locals. So that's what we're going to be doing. Locals and rumbles with some of it. So let's go with Nevada first. Nevada man convicted over gunfight in a Minnesota bar. Oh, for the love of God. Fox, we're going to get into a fight in a minute. There we go. A man involved in a gunfight at a crowded bar left one person dead and more than a dozen wounded in St. Paul was convicted Thursday of 8 counts of attempted murder. Prosecutors said Devondre Phillips of Las Vegas and another man shot at each other on October 10th at a truck park bar. Markeisha Wiley, a bystander, was killed. At least 15 others were wounded as bar patrons fled in panic. Criminal complaints that officers arriving at the bar found a chaotic scene with multiple people being treated for gunshot wounds and spent shell casings with bullet fragments all over the floor. I doubt you found many bullet fragments. They don't generally use frangible ammunition. I think you mean projectiles that had been through and through, or whatever. His attorney argued his client acted in self-defense when he fired a 9mm handgun he bought the same night because he felt threatened by Brown and others. Oh, my man. You're going to get found guilty because you literally were like, they make me feel unsafe. They're threatening me. Hold on, let me go buy a gun and bring it back. You deserve the stupid sign. He said he fired when one of the friends approached with a gun and advice said, "Katja, you're dead." Phillips shot first at Brown's friend and then towards Brown. Okay, here's the problem. Do not like what we're not going to do is be like, hey, you pissed me off, so I am going to need you to just wait like 10 minutes. I'm going to go across the street, buy a gun, and I'm coming back. Really? Really. You convicted yourself. You're an idiot. You don't go buy a gun and then come back 15 minutes later and use it, dumbass. Guns like that don't have any practical value. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube is getting. Yeah, Radia, that's going to be my plan. It has been. They're in the process of mirroring all my content over. Mayor Wrench. So I'm going to be on Rumble and Locals, and I will walk everybody through how to find those videos and use them to make it easier for everybody that isn't familiar with the alternate platforms. Yeah, there's Odyssey. Once I get the other things straightened out, the Locals and the Rumble, then I will gladly, then I will gladly look into them. So if due to wait for the guy to grab his weapon, no, because then it could have been considered self-defense. But you don't go buy a gun, walk back into a bar, pick a fight with the people, and then shoot them after you literally bought the gun 15 minutes ago for that purpose. That shows premeditation. That very clearly was like, oh, this was premeditated. He had to stop, walk out, go buy it, and then go back. So you're not going to really get away from premeditation on that. Dumbass. In the words of Bruce Rivers, stop self-snitching. Like, seriously, let's not teach, let's not premeditate things, okay? Bad idea. Okay, we're going to head out to Vermont. Yeah. Do you want to come over here? Oh my God. No? Okay. Is my computer like committing suicide or something, apparently? Uh-oh. Okay, apparently that tab was committing suicide. Anubis, I don't think he bought it in a parking lot. I think he went to a gun store in the close vicinity. There's a fair amount of them near where that happened. Fine as Vermont thing again, since my computer decided it was gonna have PMS. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's get that back up. There we go. Let's try this one more time. Okay, well, we're not doing Vermont because apparently StreamYard doesn't want whatever. We'll cover it later. We'll cover that at a different time because apparently yay, CCW. Yeah. So we'll just move on because that. Okay. Yeah, I just we're banning all of the wrong things is the problem. Like, there's so many other things you could do, but adding dumb bans like this are just not. What am I missing? Hold on. What aren't you touching, TV of Krakow? What are we sorry to Krakow for? I'm confused. Yeah, Mayor McGrinch, be happy you don't live in a stupid state. But yes, the stupid. All of the stupid. I just don't get it. So, I'm going to call it a night, guys. I am going to stream around lunchtime tomorrow. And we are going to cover a bunch of fun stuff instead of just our usual lair random gun stories. And I will I'll put that up and I'll answer any questions tomorrow. I'm sorry. Okay, I will catch you guys later. Sorry.